Hey guys, it's Spacey Sins, and we are back with more Radiant Tale, continuing Vilio's route. Anyway, I was going to say the common route of Vilio's route. You knew! Anyway, 3 days had passed since our show. Word reached us that Prince Calivis was in stable condition, and we were summoned to the palace. We entered the grand throne room, where we met the prince once again. So my bird's with me, in case you hear chattering, because he's talking every time I talk. He doesn't say anything, he just goes... makes like little squeaky noises. Yes, you do. And now you're sitting with me so you don't scream from downstairs. But anyway, Prince Calivis hasn't fully recovered? Unfortunately, no. Sitting next to King Vagonia was the prince. He was fidgeting uncomfortably in his seat. With all due respect, His Highness seems to have regained his heart in my eyes.
Appears that way, doesn't it? And now take a closer look. Prince Calivis is still stuck in that body.
Maybe he doesn't want to grow up because he realizes being an adult sucks. I do not understand. He looks like a normal child to me. Except he's no longer a child. He's already 17 years old. What? Totally forgot Prince Calivis is actually older than me. Are you saying his body is yet to catch up to his actual age? That is right. He's still stuck in the body he had at the age of 7 when he first closed off his heart. The doctor explained that this is due to all the mana required to preserve his state. To make matters worse, it looks like Calivis himself refuses to grow. We're saying this right in front of this poor child.
I'm sorry. I'm well aware I can't stay like this, but...
It makes sense in a way. 10 years went by before Prince Calivis woke up. It'd be hard for him to accept the fact that he's already 17 years old.
Yeah.
He's got a point. When my parents passed away, I was so shocked I couldn't remember anything for a while.
Well, I totally get what we're dealing with here. You're not gonna say we failed in our mission and refused to grant our wish, right?
Rady, you have enough liquor. Simmer down. It's nice to see Rady in his hot boy form, though. Rady! I scolded him for his rude remarks, but the king nodded without showing the slightest hint of anger. I understand your concern, but there's no need to worry. I do not intend to refuse since you have fulfilled your duty. Let me hear what it is you desire. That's such a relief. I can't thank you enough, Your Majesty. I'm actually relieved, too. Your wish is a pressing matter. And true, although my heart aches knowing His Highness has yet to make a full recovery. And don't hold back, especially when you've already completed your duty. This is a problem we have to deal with. So that means this is all over. I'm happy for y'all. Well, we're not going to travel around with Calivis this time? That makes me sad. That's like half the game. Literally. Almost. It's like almost half the game. Because we don't we have like 4 chapters usually of the quote person's route? And that's going around with Calivis. And like 5 out of 9 chapters are like the common route. So like, what the fuck? Almost half the game? We're just gonna fuck that? I don't like this. Vilio, your route is disappointing me right now. It'll be fine, don't worry. But I'm just like, in this moment, I'm like, I don't like this. Everyone was very much relieved, except for me. Our job is done. My gaze fell to the floor. I felt as though I'd been dealt a finishing blow. Yeah, because usually the king is like, well, yeah, but wait, before that. After that, each circus member stepped up to the throne. One by one, they stated their wishes. For a time, I watched my friends exchange words with His Majesty. Then I peeked over at Vilio. Well, Zephora's I need a raise to be able to get frickin' Balto off the throne. They're like, yeah, awesome! Except for Calivis is the only one who can make the bullets, and so, yeah, not gonna work. I mean, we're just gonna, it's not pertinent to this route. We just have to assume, oh, okay, sure, we don't need Calivis, because for this, because obviously things are different in this universe, in this route. You know, Abby didn't die before Ion got possessed, but there's no need for Ion to get taken control of or possessed like that by the ring, because not pertinent to Vilio's route. You know what I mean? And like, Pashalia doesn't have to have a near-death experience because that was only, but it's still like, are we just gonna, we're not, just trying to find any reason of like, why we're not traveling with Calyvis. We're just gonna be like, okay, bye, kid. It's rude. In every other route, we helped him so that he'd magically grow up, and now we're like, fuck it. Like, what the hell? Alright. What will Vilio ask for, I wonder? I didn't get to ask last time. There's no way he'll really ask for meat, right?
Hey, Spacey.
Maybe he's already set his mind on something.
Earth to Spacey!
Huh? What? Are you troubled by something? It's your and Rady's turn to state your wishes. The others have already finished. Still not mentally prepared, though. Flustered, I looked around before scrounging up a reply. My apologies. I've yet to decide on my wish. Vilio, you could go ahead and... Nah, I'm good. What? Vilio still has another mission to complete before he can express his wish. Thus your wish will be the last. Do not hesitate to speak your mind. I hate the fact that we're not going to help Calyvis and Vilio's leaving, and my man harem is disbanding. That's how I feel. Oh, my neck hurts. Ugh. His Majesty went so far as to stand from his throne and address me directly. Unfortunately, his words went in one ear and out the other. Vilio has another mission? Seriously? Mission? An image flickered through my mind, one I'd been haunted by for some time. Before I knew it, I whirled on Vilio to question him. Why are you leaving me? How dare you? Vilio, I wanted to avoid bringing it up with the others present, but curiosity got the better of me. Who knows when I'll get the chance to talk to him again? It's now or never. The truth was heart-wrenching. I blurted out the words in spite of myself. Is he talking about you eating fiends? Are you going to go out there and consume them all by yourself? Again? What are you saying, Spacey? I heard something about eating fiends. My friends turned to me in alarm.
Psst! And this is hardly the place to...
Answer me, Vilio, please. Do you have to keep devouring fiends and purifying them to earn your wish? This was probably my one and only chance to ask. In my heart, I asked for Ginya's forgiveness. You should ask for Vilio's forgiveness, because it's his secret that you just blurted out. Vilio cracked a pained smile and awkwardly ruffled his hair before turning toward the speechless king. My apologies, Your Majesty. She happened to find out during the trip. Let me ask you then, how much do you know, my child? Even under his sharp, intimidating gaze, I answered loud and clear. I saw him eating fiends in the forest. He told me he's an archdragon and that it's his duty to consume fiends and purify their negative emotions inside his body. An archdragon? Yes, Vilio's the only dragon who can purify fiends. They know shit. Oh, no, maybe Zephora was like, archdragon? Like, the fuck? Okay, I was like, do they know shit that I don't?
Hold on. Somebody can eat fiends and purge them that way.
Yeah, when the world is filled with negative emotions and fiends are running rampant, eating and sealing away those fiends is the archdragon's duty. Now your keen interest in fiends makes total sense. I did find it strange how you always slipped out of the tent late at night. Have you accomplished your mission through this journey? No, not yet. I've consumed a lot of fiends so far, though. I went to eat whenever I had the chance. But there are still so many fiends left in this world. No matter how strong an archdragon may be, it takes time to purify the fiends inside his body. There is a limit to how many fiends he can consume.
That's basically a drop in the ocean, then. Who knows how many more fiends will pop up in other cities while you're off eating them somewhere else?
He has a point. It does take Vilio a while to recover, and he can't be everywhere at once. A heavy silence filled the air. The one to break it was Vilio himself.
No, I know a way. Something that the previous Archdragon Regulus did 1,000 years ago.
See, I told you there was a connection there. According to Vilio, far more fiends roamed the world in the past than in the present. Oh, but like Ragulis sacrificed himself or some shit, didn't he? Realizing that his purification had limits, Ragulis took a gamble. Instead of waiting until the fiends were completely purified, he continued to eat as many of them as he could. Oh god, he killed himself, didn't he? Then, with the help of Arthur and the four great spirits, he sealed the fiends within himself. Oh, this isn't gonna go well. This is gonna be... It's gonna have a happy ending, but it's angsty. This is gonna be where the angst comes in here. I don't like it. Seal! Realizing his purification ability was nearing its limit, Ragulis ate as many fiends as he could. With the help of Arthur and the four great spirits, he sealed the fiends within himself.
Is that possible? It seems like quite the heavy burden. If Regulus can do it, then I figure I can too. Hey, wait a minute. You said he had Arthur and the four great spirits helping him out, right? Well, that option's out of the question then.
Well, you're kind of like half of Celius, if you think about it. And then if we find the Intaglio, I'm assuming... And we know Leaf isn't dead. Technically, she's hiding out. We saw her. So, like, I'm just saying, I'm going to assume the artifacts and the items and stuff like that has something to do with it.
He's right. And the great spirits are no longer with us after all. Even if we have King Vigonia here to take Arthur's place. I am not King Arthur's substitute. Calivis is. I have far less mana than the first king. It's impossible for me to produce the seal. That being said, Calivis...
Ah! Okay, we're gonna travel around. We're gonna take our baby prince with us. Because, he was... Okay, you kind of saw that coming. He's like, I can't do it. Oh, points to kid. Oh, it's you, kiddo. Because, I mean, if you think about it, Vigonia couldn't... I thought Vigonia couldn't produce the bullets for Erase just because he was busy with other shit. I don't remember it being like, I'm not strong enough. It was like, dude, I'm running a country here. Like, I ain't got time for this. So, you're gonna have to make sure the kid does his job. Well, I thought it... Or it was... Whatever he was doing, like, was it protection or something? It was something like, I can't do both, bitches. So,
yes, father.
King Vigonia nodded his head as the boy set Ramrod straight. This poor fucking child.
My son is blessed with bountiful mana, so much so one could call him the second coming of Arthur.
And Vilio's like the second coming of Regulus. See, I'm just saying, I saw that. Come on, guys.
Should he be able to wield his full power, he can take King Arthur's place.
So he can pull it off as long as his body catches up to his age?
That is correct. As for the great spirits, they left behind the core items.
Everyone turns to look at Rady. Her neck swiveling. Blink, 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 blink. Up half of the wand.
And to make a long story short, Vilio's gonna travel the world with the prince.
Raise his hands. I think we should all go and we can put on shows which will help prevent fiends, so Vilio doesn't have as much of a problem. Remember, we had this idea. And we can also all help the prince at the same time. That's my wish. Let's go, bitches. And everyone's like, but I didn't want... I don't care. That's my wish, Sephora. You're coming with us whether you like it or not, you salty little clown bitch. Get in the van. We're going circusing! I love this game. I don't know what's wrong with me today.
He has to obtain the core items, eat fiends, and help His Highness grow.
Oh. I'd always thought our mission to aid the prince's recovery was pretty grand. But this one was even bigger than that. The fate of the whole world depended on it. Its importance blew me away, and I stood there, unable to speak. It was then that Vilio approached us.
I guess this is goodbye. Sorry, guys. I'll finish my duty and you guys can go back to your old... Wait!
I stepped in front of him to prevent him from leaving. They're all like, well, you're gonna... Zephora's face like, you're not gonna fucking drag me into this, are you? Yes. Yes, Zephora. Everyone else is like... No, they all look a little like, wait, the fuck are you getting at? Are they mad at Vilio for saying goodbye? Or are they mad because I'm about to, like, rope them all into this fucking journey again? We know Zephora's pissed at me for roping him into the journey again, but... I get what you're doing, but let me ask you one thing. You asked the king to grant our wishes before this, right? Like, in my case, you asked His Majesty if you could borrow the lacrima earrings to cure my illness, and we're like, you're ill? Well, yeah, I did. When are we going to receive those core items? Huh? As soon as we collect and use them all to seal away the fiends, we'll deliver them to your... You think we can wait that long, you fool? We're in a tight spot here. Zephora's lips twisted in a smirk. Oh, Zephora's like, we're coming with you whether you fucking like it or not. Oh, there's their buddy cop. Oh, we're doing the buddy cop thing again. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love them together. I ship it. You two are sharing a room in the man harem. Everybody normally gets their own room, but you two have to share. Or your rooms are right next door to each other, so you're always going to run into each other just because. Just fucking because. Like, listen, I want all my boys from all my games to, like, mingle with each other, but, you know, we have the Radiant Tail wing. Okay? So their rooms next door. You know what? You share a bathroom. Okay? I just need you to have to be forced to interact at all times because it's gonna drive Zephora crazy. But, like, when he's salty and bitchy, that's when we love him the most. And, like, you know, he's gonna turn into his little marshmallow self when we're alone with him. But, like, you know, Billy will be around and be like, we're like best friends. Fuck you, lizard. You know, it's gonna get all mad. It's gonna be so cute and I love it. God, I love it. But secretly underneath his salty exterior, he's so fucking adorable. Because, you know, right now he's like, I'm gonna fucking let you do this on your own, you dumbass. Aww. I love our little I love our salty marshmallows. I don't even know. Okay, guys, every time I talk about the marshmallow character, I'm like, I don't know how the salty, crusty exterior ones with the soft core on the inside became marshmallows in my brain. I'm pretty sure that happened back in Hakuoki days. I think Hijikata might have been the first marshmallow character. Because he's all crunchy on the outside and squishy on the inside. It's not even a good analogy, and yet this is just how it is. I realize it's not a good analogy. It's just something that popped into my brain and it stuck. Like gooey marshmallow gunk. Okay? It just sticks and you just... Like, if you try to explain that to anyone, oh, the marshmallow character, you know, the one that's crunchy on the outside and gooey on the inside, people are like, that makes no sense. Like, marshmallows are naturally squishy. Like, even if you cook them over a fire because you're making a s'more and they get a little, they're not crunchy enough on the outside to make that analogy work. And yet, here we are, 8 fucking plus years later, like, that's just what these characters are to me, and I feel like every once in a while we have to reiterate that it makes no sense for the people who might be new and are like, I don't get it. Like, I get it! It makes no sense! It's just the way it is! I don't know. I do not know what is up with me right now today recording this part. Like, I've lost the fucking plot, but... Cultura is in crisis. Balto's control over the city's getting so strict the citizens have nearly had it. Although I've warned them against revolting, they may do it without waiting for my return. Remember what I told you before. My time's limited. I can't wait much longer. How about you, Ion? I want to get my hands on the Intaglio ring as soon as possible. Just one solution, then. It'll be much faster if we go with you instead of waiting around. I love how I mean, you knew this was going to be the outcome, but I really love how they did this. How the writers are like, they're going to be like, what the fuck? We can't wait for our like, I don't have much time. Like, Pashali is about to die. Balto's going to fucking take over shit. Ion's over there just waiting for someone to get the ring and control him. Like, what the fuck? You think we got all the time in the world? We're coming with you, bitch. Like, they're all getting so mad, like, You knew exactly where it was going, but it's so funny because it's like they're fake leading you. Like, I can't even say they're fake leading you because there was no way when they started that you did not see the outcome coming. But I like how they're like, Vilio's probably, because he's slightly an idiot, as smart and wise as he is, and as noble as he is, he's still kind of stupid sometimes, let's be real. And he was having one of those himbo moments where he's standing there and everyone's like, we don't have time to fucking wait around. We're coming with you. And he's like, wait, what? Because they start off with the like, do you think I've got time to fucking wait for you to get your shit together? Fuck you, buddy. But like, that's not where we were going at all. It's not even a decent... It's not a decent fake out because there was no point where you as the player or anyone reading this were convinced that they were pissed about it. You knew you're like, they're saying all this and we're going to go with him. That's the whole point. But like, it was a fun fake out for Vilio, I guess. Because like, the rest of us knew where it was going, but I like that they did it. I don't know. Does that make sense? I don't know. Oh, okay, we're a little bit of an idiot because we're like, everyone's getting mad and we're coming too. And you're like, oh yeah, good idea. All right. We just had a brain dead moment. Me and Vilio were sharing the brain cell at that time. No, you can't just... Before the baffled redhead could finish his sentence, King Vigonia cut him off. Marvelous. Hold it right there, Vilio. They have a point. And besides, this gives us an advantage. When sealing the fiends, we must reenact what happened 1,000 years ago. You think you have to. You don't really know. Only been done once.
I'll be taking King Arthur's place, right?
Precisely. We shall also need vessels for the great spirits to keep the core items safe. And everyone... Okay. Again, not that we didn't see this coming, because they've been alluding to, like, everybody in the core item, and, like, obviously, like, especially in the last play we did, where you're like, okay, yeah, like, the Intaglio ring, and Varys, and Ion all being tied together, like, they've been setting that up from the very beginning, and it's been very obvious from the beginning in a way, you know what I mean? So when you get to this, they're stand-ins, you're like, yeah, duh. Makes absolute sense, and they've been setting that up from the beginning, but they did it well, like, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, okay. Not like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it, whatever. You're like, yeah, I mean, you kind of, inside, you're like, yeah, duh. Kind of saw this coming. Didn't know what they were going to do with it, but you could kind of see it. But it wasn't done in a way where, like, some games or stories will do it, and you're like, oh, okay, everybody's, whatever. And it's so obvious that it's almost like, you want to roll your eyes at it, you're like, yeah, okay, like, I didn't see that coming. This, you're like, yeah, we saw it coming, but I still love it. Maybe it's just me, and I just love the game so much, I don't know. Anyway, vessels. Vessel, an object possessed by spirits. Grady is kind of already one of these. In this case, it refers to people carrying the power of the 4 great spirits. Vessels must be connected to their respective spirits somehow. Brady's kind of already halfway there. Well, let us fulfill that duty, then. The fact that I come from Labyrinth Sentinel's bloodline's enough to prove my worth. I've received blessings from water spirits, too. I believe I deserve to hold on to the Lacrima earrings. Plus, they'll save your life, so.
As for me, I'm an Earth Fae beast with some kind of connection to the Great Spirit of Earth. With some kind of connection.
We're like, you're half of the wand. We know. We don't know right now. We know, but we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. While I do not have any special power, I have been marked by the Intaglio ring. I am not a complete outsider, at least. And see, this is where Ginny is like, where the only explanation I can see right now of, well, that's why Ginny is not a love interest, you see, because each one of your love interests is like the 4 great spirits, and then there's Ragules, and Calivis is King Arthur, but he's like a child, and Ginny doesn't fit, see? That's the only reason I could see you giving me an excuse of why Ginny is here, but not. He's a side character, but still fuck you about that. This is a valid excuse, but I'm still not accepting it. F. Alright.
Oh my, how fortuitous. We already have the perfect vessel candidates right in front of us.
Everyone laughed at Ginny's shameless remark. I felt a bit out of place, considering I was the only one without a role. Hey, you! Why are you trying to blend in with the walls, huh? Well, I'm not special enough to be a vessel like you guys.
What's with the pity party? We can't get cracking on this thing without you. True. Our whole journey started with you. Now I'm the special. Vilio is the one that's going to save the world, but I'm the special. That's kind of funny, actually. Again, obviously, because this is my man harem, so of course I'm the special. Someone gave me a light push, and I stepped closer to the still silent Vilio. Vilio is going to be like, I couldn't do it without you. You're my moral support. I'm your comfort animal. I'm your emotional support pet. Cool. I'm okay with that. I know the task on your shoulders is a weighty one. We, especially me, might not be able to help you all that much. They absolutely can help you greatly because they need to be vessels. I'm pretty useless, but I'm good for hugs and making you food, and I love you. Is that enough? Do you remember what I said before, though? We're friends. We're circus. Yeah, that's right. Let's all take another trip around the world. And this time, Prince Calivis will be joining us. We're gonna make the world smile again. I like how we're like, I feel useless, you guys are vessels, and Ginny's over there like, I really have nothing to do but egg everyone on and be annoying. And pretty. It doesn't matter, though. Like, Ginny has no purpose, aside from being beautiful. And slightly, I wouldn't say antagonistic, but he knows how to poke your buttons. You know what I mean? And you're like, God damn it, Ginny. That's why we love you. But he doesn't mind just tagging along for no fucking reason. He's Ginny. See, you gotta have the confidence of Ginny when you serve no fucking purpose. That sounds so wrong. But you know what I mean? Everyone's like, I've got a role. You're like, I haven't. You know what? I'm just gonna go in there with the confidence of Ginny and be like, I do not need to fucking be here, but I'm here. Everybody else is gonna do their jobs. I'm just gonna sit back and watch you do your work. I'm here for moral support, bitches. Gotta have the confidence of Ginny when you serve no purpose in a group. Right? That's it. That's your purpose. I'm just gonna be Ginny. I am here for moral support and to be fabulous. That's all you need. That's exactly how I want to live my life. I'm just here to be fabulous. Don't need to do anything else. Just exist and be fabulous. Oh, my life goals are all coming into place now. After that, we continued our chat with the king and planned to set off on another trip. Then we headed back to Liber to discuss our next journey. I am so happy we are going back out on the road again. Who would have thought we'd go on another trip? I was so convinced we were going to split up. We gotta thoroughly explain this to Spiria, or else she'll fret over us again. Yeah, I certainly did not expect it to become this big of a deal. And to think we'll become vessels to seal fiends from all around the world. I feel like this is gonna be bad for Vilio, though. Has anyone mentioned that? No. Since we're gonna collect core items here, we should start with Kalita. It's the closest. His Highness will be with us, so we've got to request a proper welcome. Are you okay with that, Sephora? Given the situation in your city, you must be itching to go back right away. I wonder, are we going to go to each city now? And hold on. We have chapter 10. Oh my god. Okay, I just scrolled down real quick, so I didn't really see. I did actually see that we have no choices in this chapter. So we normally have only 9 chapters, so we get to go back. So I was just wondering, I'm like, so we're going to go to Kalita. Like, before the other chapters, we toured around, but it was like, it wasn't a chapter per location. But I was just wondering, I'm like, are we going to do a chapter like we go to Kalita and then we fix their fucking shit. And then we go and Zephora gets to become the labyrinth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like this is the culmination of everything. Like, Zephora's whole plot was getting rid of Balto. And, like, yes, we know in the other routes it was like, oh, and then Zephora eventually overthrew Balto, whatever. But we didn't experience that except for in his route. But now we're going to kind of experience that. We're going to go back, purify the fiends, get rid of Balto, kind of do all of the things we did in each individual route, all wrapped up in this. That's kind of cool. I like it. I kind of like that this is its own route, but we still go through all of the common elements again, but vaguely. You know what I mean? They don't. It's okay, Bird. It was just a text message. It's okay. It's okay. You heard my phone go off, and he's like freaking out. You know what I mean? Like sometimes in other routes, like the canon route or the end route, you skip through the common stuff and then you do your own very special thing. This one is like, nah.
We're going to rehash everything you fucking did. We're going to do it as an overview with a lot of new stuff so that you're not reading the same thing for the 15th time, but you're getting almost a refresher. I kind of like the way they did it in this one. You're getting the refresher of everything that happened. It's slightly changed. Obviously, there's different stuff because it's more pertinent to Vilio, but, you know, we're not like, I don't remember what happened, except for the Abby thing. Did we do that in Ion's route? Because I don't remember that aspect of it. I'm good. At the very end, anyway. Like, obviously, at this point in time, it wouldn't have happened because Abby had to control Ion, so that's going to be different, but... And I get why they would change it for Vilio's route, because... Like, for Zephora, it's going to be over, okay, we make a race, we take out Balto, great, we can high-level that, we don't have to go into the details, but how do you do, we find the Intaglia ring, oh, but Abby had it, and then he controlled Ion, but we managed to figure that out, and, like, how do you high-level that? You know what I mean? Because that was a huge plot point, was Ion being controlled by the ring. You know what I mean? The huge plot point in Zephora is, gotta get rid of Balto and make those bullets for a race. You could easily gloss over that by being like, oh, okay, Kalyvus made the bullets for a race, like, he didn't have a problem doing it, cool. But you can't be like, Ion was possessed and then he's not possessed, or you can't, like, that would be kind of harder to gloss over with being like, whoa, wait, what? You know what I mean? So kind of doing it this way, we're like, well, Abby's dead, and then we find the ring type of a thing, and maybe we're not gonna have to deal with him being controlled by it, or shit, like, at least I wouldn't think they're gonna do that, because I feel like that would just be more of a main focus, and the main focus is Vilio and his mission, and we're gonna put all the other pieces together, but in a high-level way, and I don't think you can really high-level Ion being possessed, and being like, well, he was controlled, but everything's fine. Excuse me? I'm gonna need you to back up a little. Everything else you can kind of do, because we've kind of already set it up. You know what I mean? Especially with Pashalia. We know he's going to die, but we don't have to go through the whole, he's sick and we got to find him, oh my god, and all that stress. It's like, we already got the solution. Cool, let's go get those earrings, slap them on, there you go, you're good now. You know what I mean? So Ion's we've technically worked out. We can't get possessed by Abby if Abby's dead. Where? There you go. So, I mean, I guess that's why they did it this way. Anyway, okay, yeah. Voltura comes right after Kalita. It'll be better to have you guys with me rather than deal with it alone. Oh my god, Zephora is learning. Don't you just want to hug him right now? How adorable. He was gonna go off and do it alone, and now he's like, no, I need my friends with me. It's the power of friendship. Oh, poor salty little clown bitch is so marshmallowy already. You miss him. Aw. I just say you want our help. They bantered as we made our way to Liber. I feel like those two would definitely get along very well. Okay. Zephora, because Pashalia is very hard not to love. You know what I mean? He's very soft and delicate, and I feel like everybody likes him. And, like, I feel like Zephora would have an easy time getting along with him. Even though, okay, Vilio is very lovable, and I don't know how you don't like him, but I understand why Zephora wouldn't like him. Like, God, you're so cheery. But underneath, Zephora's like, what's that about? But, like, Zephora would get along with Pashalia, and no fronts, no nothing, but, like, with Billy, he's like, God, this fucker! Miss him when he's gone. I love that. I love it so much. Never gonna stop loving Zephora, Jesus. Ilio was like, got a 10-mile stare here. Ilio and I walked behind them in silence. I'm sorry. Huh? For what? For blurting out your secret. I know you didn't want the other guys to find out you were eating fiends. Besides, you probably wanted to travel on your own, right? It's like, the fuck? I love you guys. It's my fault things ended up like this. Truthfully, I had no regrets and was fully prepared for a scolding. Thus, Vilio's response surprised me. No need to apologize. I'm sure they would have gotten suspicious sooner or later. He shook his head, not blaming me in the slightest. Say, Vilio... But this will really be the last time. No matter how fun, comfy, and lovely it is to have you all with me, I have other things I have to do. Can't stay with you forever, Spacey. Oh! That's the angst right here! I did that without reading the line. I was like, ugh, I don't like that. I can't breathe. He brushed past me without batting an eye. Why would you hurt me like this? We're only halfway through. I couldn't just let him go. Oh, did we just throw ourselves into his arms? Or did we just throw himself behind him? I can't tell with the CG yet. I reached out and grabbed his arm. Why say that now? Oh, we just grabbed him from behind. Oh, look, we both have sad little faces. It's adorable. Kind of thought we threw ourselves into his arms. That would have been great. He'd have been like, the hell? This works too. When else then? If anything, I should have said it sooner. He let out a small sigh. He looked so sad. He's like, I can't be with you forever. It's hurting him just as much as it hurts me. We're both hurting. I hate it. I love it, but I hate it. To be honest, I didn't want to get any of you involved. This is my mission. Something I have to tackle alone. You know there's other people. Like, Ginny is right behind us like, what is happening? But... Oh, look at his little smile. It's actually a relief that it turned out this way. I'm glad I can be with you all a little longer, Spacey. It's just like me. Knowing we were on the same wavelength sent me over the moon. I'm not gonna lie and tell you we'll be together forever. Yes, we will! But He trailed off. Perhaps he couldn't find the right words. He's a dragon and I'm a human. We've been worlds apart from the beginning. The day when we have to go our separate ways will surely come. Still, no matter how little, even if it was just one more second, the time I had with him meant everything to me. Oh, stop it! So adorable. Rady's CGs were super hot, and Vilio's so far have been very precious. Like, no, they're so adorable. Do we have a couple where we're like, oh, look at you, but I feel like they still lean a little more. It's because he's just got an adorable face. Circus embarked on another journey with 3 new goals. First, head to the Major 5 and retrieve the core items. Second, help Prince Calivis grow physically and mentally so he could regain the use of his magic. Third, have Vilio consume and purify fiends all around the country. Our first stop was the closest one to the capital, Kalita, the Scholar's City. Makes sense, that's where we went the first time. We're going in the same damn order. I'm feeling oddly nostalgic. I remember how much I enjoyed seeing the city through the window back when we first set off. Keeping my eyes on the distant cityscape, I let out a little sigh. The scenery hadn't changed, yet it looked different to me now. Part of me's happy about this, since I can keep traveling with the guys, especially Vilio. I was well aware of the added responsibility we carried this time around. Even so, I couldn't help but be grateful to spend some more time with everyone after I thought I'd have to leave them. And with a new friend joining us, this trip will surely be even livelier than the last. Castle looks so small from here. Are you alright, Your Highness? Shall we take a break? I imagine you're not used to riding in a carriage. I'm alright. Just a little nervous. The carriage was rattling away. Prince Calivis was crouched all the way in the corner with his head on a swivel. He's going on a trip with people he barely knows. No wonder he's nervous. I mean, that's true! He might be 17, but he's in a 7-year-old body, and it's like, you just chuck this kid who just woke up from a 10-year coma, basically. Like, he's like blinking, that's basically it, to be like, go travel with these weirdos. And we are a bunch of weirdos. We're good people, but we're fucking weird, so. Not to mention, his heart has just recovered. Can't believe I've got to travel with the likes of you guys again. Get me out of here. You loved it, and you volunteered for this, you little bastard. You did not raise objections when we had our audience with the king, though. Ion looks so sad, like, but you didn't object. But inside he's like, you fucking love us. Shh, just let him be. He's shy. We've been with them for like 4 other fucking routes, but like, I don't know why it never stops warming the cockles of my cold dead heart right now. Oh my god, I love this group so much. Like, Ion is like sad, like, you don't want to be friends with us? And Bashalia is like, he loves us. He's just being a salty little bitch. I love it.
That's right. Think of him as our adorable little contrarian and go easy on him.
Got it. I shall. I can hear you, you know. And don't believe everything they say, Ion. Come on. By the way, Ginia, can you tell us what we have to do to help Prince Calyvus grow? Out of all of our goals, I find that one the most ambiguous. He's got a point. We have no idea what we should do to make the prince grow. Fertilizer and pour water on him? Is he like a plant? Everyone looked to the group leader, who only offered an awkward shrug. Ginny's like, I'm just here to be fabulous. Like, seriously.
Let's see. What His Highness lacks is life experience. Perhaps he'll naturally climb the stairs to adulthood if we let him experience a lot of things.
Okay, so...
There's no plan whatsoever.
He looks so happy saying that. Figured as much.
Time for some booze, then. Let me school you in the ways of an adult palate.
Booze? Oh, for fuck's sake. Brady, sit down.
Surely getting him to gain some courage will help him grow. Should we have him explore the underground labyrinth in Galtura by himself? Or watch a battle in Ferris's arena?
Okay, Pashalia, I thought you would be a little bit smarter. Stop it. It's just me holding the portrait. Listen, don't hurt our precious prince baby. We've only had him for 4 rounds, but if anything happened to him, I'm gonna kill all of you. That's me right now. I'm that meme.
All by myself?
I heard people mature quite quickly when they're in a pinch. How about you ride on Vilio's back and try skydiving a few times? Oh, Jesus, none of you should have children. I hate kids, and even I'm like bad parenting right here, all of you.
Skydiving?
Stop right there, you guys. You're scaring him. Why are we the only smart one? Especially you, Rady. How dare you suggest making a 7-year-old drink?
Maybe I should go home.
Look, he's making our poor little prince puppet baby cry. My apologies, Your Highness. They didn't mean to frighten you.
It's fine. I know they didn't mean any harm.
As I comforted the trembling little prince, Vilio spoke up. For some reason, he reminds me of the old you, Spacey. How come? Come on. You were like a broken record when we first set off, always saying how you wanted to go home. Yes, and you were quite frightened of me. That's because you and Zephora were against me joining Circus. You're intimidating and Zephora's an asshole. I just doubted someone as weak-hearted as you could hack it from home. Yeah, I want to be mad, but that's valid.
You were always pulling up a storm in your tent on account of being so homesick.
How could you, Rady?
Smack him. Keep it down, will you? It's already cramped in here and you're kicking up all the dust.
Our playful bickering was pretty standard fare by this point. I chased Rady around and pinched his cheek once I caught him. Like, how big is this carriage that we can run in here? Prince Calyvus' expression finally softened for the first time.
Oh, easy, right? Sounds like you were scared at first, too. I feel kind of relieved knowing I'm not alone.
The boy prince patted his chest in relief. Anyone would feel uneasy venturing into a brand new world. Still, it'd be such a waste if you never overcame that fear or moved forward. If you take that step, you'll find so many exciting things in this world that you'll totally forget your fear. And here's Vilio whipping out the wise words again. Vilio then whirled to me with a right. His carefree smile reminded me of something he'd said before. Teach me what normal is, then. You're the right person for this. Reliable and good at teaching. Let me be your student. Looking back, our dynamic has been this way since we first met. He was the one who expanded my narrow world. Maybe he considered himself my student at first. But in fact, he was the one teaching me all sorts of things. I know, that's why we're role-playing. Sometimes we're the teacher, sometimes we're the student. Kinky. I'm sure he'll do the same for the prince. Maybe not that with the prince, though, not the kinky side of it. The very thought warmed my heart.
Straightforward as always, huh, Vilio? I get secondhand embarrassment just listening to you.
So like him to say that, though. That reminds me, I got an idea of what we can do to make Calivis grow. How about we have him participate in our shows?
What?
Performing in front of a large number of people will surely be a good experience.
And he can warm up to us while we're rehearsing. Sure, let's do that. We didn't exactly plan any shows, but it's not a bad idea at all. What do you think, Your Highness? I'm inclined to agree with them, but your feelings on this matter the most. Calivis chewed it over without a word, looking anxious. I want to give it a try. He paused to look at each of us before continuing. I don't know if I could be as good as all of you, of course. But I'm inspired by the way you once bestowed all those warm feelings upon me. I want to make lots of people smile, too.
It's settled, then.
I'll go write a brand new script with His Highness as the star. Just call me Calivis. I'm a member of Circus now. So, it'd make me happy if you stopped addressing me by my title.
If you say so.
Good luck to all of us, Calivis.
May we deliver a good show together.
Let's do this, Calivis. We're gonna put on the best show ever. Yeah. Listen, I hate kids, but I love this little motherfucker. I love our child prince. I love our adopted son so goddamn much. Like, seriously? I just want to protect him forever. Why is he so adorable? Several hours passed. Upon our arrival in Kalita, we quickly went to work. Ginny and Calivis headed to the Sage Tower to retrieve the Caritas wand. Meanwhile, the rest of us were due to set up camp.
Spacey, Reedy, got a sec? Would you mind coming with me?
Oh my god, are we gonna go see my parents?
Oh my god, are we gonna bring our parents along too?
Elio looked rather solemn when he invited us out. Our destination was none other than the giant Sage Tower standing at the city center. Oh god, we're going to meet my parents. Why did you bring us here? Does this have anything to do with the Caritas wand?
You're half right.
Elio shot a sidelong glance at Rady before escorting us deeper. Then he asked me something out of the blue.
I mentioned the Dragon's Island to you once. Do you remember that, Spacey?
Uh-huh. We were on a ferry in Orions when you told me about it, right? I believe you said only dragons live there and humans never go near it.
Saying humans keep away is closer to the truth, actually. Any human who gets close to the island without permission will be cursed and die.
According to Vilio, the Isle of Dragons, called Passio, was home to a very valuable jewel. It possessed a vast amount of mana, more than any of the core items, so the dragons raised a magical barrier to protect it. Why can't we just go there and, like, make the prince touch it, and then get his mana back or some shit? Barrier sapped any intruder's life force until they weakened to the point of death.
It's called the Dragon's Curse.
People really die if they get too close?
Yeah, and there's no cure once they've been cursed. It doesn't matter if they only get hit with a little dose of power. They still weaken and die in the end.
I gasped in horror at the disturbing truth. And I wasn't the only one. I mean, that's a valid way to keep people from touching your jewels. I know what I said.
No, wait. Well, that can't be.
Brady mumbled, his body slightly trembling. What's wrong?
I heard some humans became victims of the curse about 10 years ago. They left the island right away once they realized it. They were too late.
What happened to those people?
Most of them died on the spot. I heard just 2 of them dragged their feeble bodies back to the mainland.
Elio stopped in front of a door deep inside the tower and pushed it open.
Here's Mommy and Daddy!
You know what, we're getting in that CG again. Not right this second, but next second, probably.
They said, no matter what happens, we gotta get home to where our beloved daughter and friend are waiting.
Here they are. Standing in the center of the room were mystic spheres filled with liquid. A man and a woman floated inside with their eyes closed in repose. What? It can't be. I love these 2 people dearly.
Even though my memories of them were hazy, I'd never forgotten them. Never.
Aria, Rachel.
Mom! Dad! I dashed toward my parents right away without sparing our surroundings a second glance, pressed my hands against the glass. They looked exactly the same as I remembered them. How come my parents are here?
They should have died. I saw it with my own eyes.
What? What do you mean, Rady? I first met you at Lieber. That was after my parents died. But you're saying you saw them die?
I
think you should just tell her already. Vesey's much stronger than you think. Tell her the truth, Relita. Relita? The moment I heard that name, a lost memory came back to me in a flash. Okay, what I love about this CG is the fact that we have this version of it, where, like, there's fucking Rady carrying little baby us, and then later it's adult Rady, same Rady, basically, carrying us recently up the stairs when we passed out at the beginning of the game. But that's also what I hate about it, because it's so fucking awkward, because it's like, please stop reminding me that he knew me as a baby! Like, please don't! Please don't! But, like, at the same time, it's still adorable. It was from a time when I lived in Kalita with my mom and dad. That day, we'd visited Lieber to see Spiria. So, Relita has always been with us even before my parents died? I looked to Relita as I retraced the memory, and he awkwardly averted his gaze. Can we just keep calling him Rady, though? Because, like, Relita really does make him sound like... It is a very feminine name, and it's very... normally, like, doesn't bother me. But it's like, there's something about, like, just calling him Rady. Just keep calling him Rady, please. That's our nickname for him. That's our pet name. Literally like our pet.
Yeah.
Relita gave in and changed to his human form to explain everything. And it is weird. Like, I understand in his route you're calling him that because that's his name and that's part of it. But, like, it is weird where now we're just going to snap back into it. And now he's Relita forever. And it's like, we could have just... I mean, I guess I get it, but... I don't know why it's weird to me in this. I don't know, anyway. With a heavy sigh, he told me he didn't want to reveal the truth. Relita first met the three of us in Arthir. He just happened to stop by Lieber on his journey around the world. He and my parents had chemistry and hit it off right away. And that's weird. He was like in a throuple with my parents. I know that's not what they mean, but like, I'm phrasing. And my parents are hot, so... And since I'd grown attached to Relita, he decided to live with us for a while. That actually makes it kind of, again, weird, but also really adorable in his route. I get attached to him and he's attached, and then I grow up with him and then we fall in love. Little bonkers, little inappropriate, but it's still kind of adorable in a way. These games are doing shit to me where it's like, yeah, let me bang my brother, and like, whatevs! He knew us when we were a kid and we grew attached and like, now we're lovers. It's fine. It's okay. He's also a furry animal and he keeps curling up in bed with us and then he turns into a hot guy and like, there's just all sorts of weirdness going on in Rady and this route, but I'm here for all of it. So like, I don't know, guys. I don't know what's happening to me playing these games. Back then, Relita was the one who took care of me whenever my mom and dad went off for work. He was basically our babysitter. Even on that fateful day, Relita and I saw them off like we always did. However, when they returned, there was something critically wrong. They were weak and breathless. Before long, they collapsed. Relita desperately tried to save them, but to no avail. They both died.
You looked up your heart when you saw your parents lying there, lifeless. That's why I stayed with you at Spiria's place. I changed my name and appearance so you wouldn't remember that painful moment. Well, I also ended up using too much mana and got stuck in Fae form for a few years. Do you know why I didn't tell you about my human form even after all that? I didn't want to dredge up your suffering all over again.
My brain couldn't process this rapid-fire reveal. Even so, I could hear the faint memory buried deep in my heart screaming at me. It told me Relita was telling the truth. Hey, you alright? Billy, take a second and just realize what you just asked. You okay finding out your whole life has been a lie in a way, and like, not in a bad way, but also your parents aren't really dead, but they were kind of dead, and like reliving all these memories. You okay? Do I sound okay? Do you think that'd be okay? Does that sound okay to you? I love him though. But that's that one brain cell moment right there, sweetie. Ilio caught me before I collapsed. It's okay, we love you anyway. He meant well. It's like, Jesus, come on. Relita went on, his eyes locked on me.
Well, when it happened, I poured my mana into them in hopes that it'd keep them alive. But they were like balloons with a hole poked in them. No matter how much I gave them, it was useless. I thought they died since they weren't breathing or moving at all.
Relita choked back his next words. Maybe he realized it'd be too hard to tell me anymore. I'm obviously shocked. I mean, I'm looking at my mom and dad after thinking they were dead all this time. But I'm not the same little girl from 10 years ago. I can take it, maybe. Amping myself up, I broached the question Relita must have been struggling with. Are they alive or dead?
And they're alive.
Rather than Relita, it was Ginia who answered me.
And their condition's rather complicated, though. And they've been asleep all this time. Let's just say they're in a state of suspended animation.
Suspended animation? Did you get the wand?
Yeah, here it is.
Pretty. Without batting an eye, Ginia looked over at my parents. Ginia, you knew my parents were alive?
Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell you about it because this is a national secret. Anyone afflicted with the dragon's curse is doomed to die. But not these two. Something else is keeping them out of death's grasp. Even after thorough research here at the tower, we had no idea what that was. We didn't know how to wake them up, or even if they could wake up. And that's why we couldn't even tell you, their own child, about this.
I see. I guess I understand. I would have been chomping at the bit to meet them if I'd known they were alive. They had to tell us my parents died. As I was now, I could take the information and rather calmly. It would have been a whole different story if I had heard this 10 years ago, though. I would have done anything to see them, even climb the Sage Tower. I mean, you were 6, so yeah. But what's keeping them alive? Mana from the Great Spirit, Celius. What? The dragon's curse and Celius's mana are intricately intertwined inside your parents' bodies. I can lift the curse from them. That alone isn't enough. Once the curse is lifted, we won't know what'll happen to him. Considering the balance will be thrown off.
Gotcha. Well, that explains you having the wand brought here.
Huh? I don't follow. Unlike me, Relita seemed to have grasped the situation.
Alright, let's do this now. I want to let her talk to her parents ASAP.
Wait a minute. I cut him off before he could proceed any further. We know what happened. Hopefully it's not going to be the same thing, but we know that, like, him... Well, actually, no. He saved our parents and he was fine. Him putting his power into the wand is what made him forget. But I don't think I thought that was after he saved our parents. What are you going to do? Tell me first. Are you trying to sacrifice yourself to save them? No way, Relita. You can't. All this information coming out at once is making me confused. But that doesn't mean you can leave me out of this. 10 years ago, you used up all your power trying to save them, to the point that you lost the ability to turn into a human. I don't want that to happen again. I'm not saying Mom and Dad don't matter anymore. They always will. But you're my family too, you know. You're irreplaceable to me. I'm not going to let you hurt yourself.
You heard the lady. How about you give her a proper explanation first?
Relita heaved a big sigh.
No need to worry. I ain't sacrificing myself. That's why we have the Caritas wand.
I don't get it.
I'm not a normal creature. See the stone in my forehead? That's a fragment of the wand. Like can move around like this because I have the same mana as this wand up here. If we combine this stone and the Kratos wand over there, I can save your parents without sacrificing myself.
You mean you can do this? Yep, you got the right idea. Relita and I are going to wake your parents up. I can put the stone into the wand, because combining the power was him using the wand. Like, not popping the stone out of his forehead, because, like, then he could have done that in his route and saved. You know what I mean? I don't think that's what they meant, but that's the way it kind of sounded when I read it. Right then, Relita and Vilio loosed their magic in tandem. In response, a beam of light burst from the wand. Oh! At last, my parents had awoken from their long, deep slumber. Yeah, because, like, Rady didn't know they were here either, so. They were whisked aside for health checks before returning to the lab. It looked like they'd been caught up to speed. I still can't believe 10 years have passed. The fact that His Highness and Relita look exactly the same as before doesn't help.
I actually was also in a sort of sleeping state for 10 years. I guess that makes us 3 members of the Decade Dozing Club.
How adorable is this child? Ginny definitely looks older than before, though.
How dare you, Professor? Just so you know, I've never missed a single day in my skin routine.
Ginny looks older. I knew that wasn't gonna go over well. You had to know. Oh my god, we're like overtime, aren't we? That's okay. I got so wrapped up in it. Yeah, me laughing at Ginny. How dare you?
How are you feeling, Spacey?
I'm good. Thanks, Relita. Sorry for crying so much. You're fine, don't worry. Anyone would cry buckets if they were in your shoes. Aww. The moment my parents had emerged from the glass, I hugged them and bawled my eyes out. But they're like, who the fuck is this? My mom and dad were shocked. They must have had so many questions. I couldn't blame their bewilderment. A girl they didn't recognize suddenly swooped in crying right when they woke up. I mean, that's exactly like, excuse me? It only made me wail even harder when they gently stroked my back, like they knew. I thought I'd never feel their warmth again, yet here we were. I'm so glad, though, that it, like, didn't come out until Rady's route, and then now we're having it again. Like, it's so nice getting our parents back. I love this. This game killed our parents, but then brought them back. Disney, take notes. Stop killing off our parents if you're gonna bring them back. Just saying. So much, you two. No need to thank me. I didn't do much.
I only did what I had to. Besides, I couldn't save them 10 years ago.
With complicated smiles, the 2 redheads gave my back a push. See? We just admitted that Rady's a redhead before they're like his pink, pink, pink. It's not. Stop it, game. Choose a color. Come on. It's been 10 years, right? Stop chatting with us and go to them. Okay. Julio's eyes looked so gentle when he said that. I wonder how he really feels. Shadows lurked behind his gentle gaze, which only confused me further. Aww. Oh, now we're Vilio. We're not going to be Vilio. We're going to end here, and then we'll find out all of Vilio's perspective. But I'm, like, so glad we did get... I mean, you had to know we were going to get our parents back. There was no way in Rady's route we were going to get our parents back, and then Vilio's be like, well, forget about it. You knew. We knew back in Rady's route that this was going to happen, but it still makes me feel all warm and fuzzy, and I love it. So, anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.